This is Saturday on the Caserne, the compound where Canadian Forces Europe was headquartered. The kids went to school here, and families did their grocery shopping here. In former years, this road was teeming with Canadians loading up their cars with cheap booze, cigarettes, TVs, and stereos. Now, it's a ghost town. At the other end of Lahr, there's more emptiness. Deserted military buildings, tennis courts overtaken by weeds, silence, and a desolate military runway no one knows what to do with. In the middle of town, there's life, but most aren't happy.
Lahr is dying, eh? The bars have to close. All the shops are missing the customers. It's getting a little bit boring here.
At one point, 15,000 Canadians lived in Lahr and surrounding villages nestled in the Black Forest in southern Germany. That translates into more than $400 million gone from the local economy. Money is tight everywhere. Many Germans grew fat by renting apartments at inflated prices to Canadians. Now that income has dried up, and they are facing lean times.
I talked to colleagues in Lahr, and they are all, it's gone down everywhere.
With all the Canadians having gone, we miss them. Also here, not only a matter of business.
There's about 200 Canadians who decided to stay. They get together at places like the Canada House, where, among other activities, they play a few rubbers of bridge every week. Then there's the Canadian Legion. You won't find any veterans here, just a bunch of mostly young people seeking the camaraderie of their countrymen.
I love Canada.
Yeah, I do too.
There's no doubt.
But you have to make compensations for your married life. Brad and I are both married to Germans, and they prefer to be here. And as men, we like the women to be happy, I guess.
When the troops pulled out, the local government said they would help Canadians who wanted to stay. But now, 1 year later, it's a different story. Many Canadians say the Germans went back on their word.
Nothing was made easy for any of the Canadians who stayed behind.
Why?
Maybe because the Canadian presence wasn't here anymore. And therefore say, okay, the show is over.
The problem is finding jobs. More than 800 Germans were thrown out of work when the base folded, adding to Lahr's 10% unemployment rate.
For jobs, and we're like third-rate people. We go behind a whole lot of people.
Among those competing for work are ethnic Germans coming from Russia, who, by law, get a German passport as soon as they step foot in the country.
It's a well-known, the best-known city in Kazakhstan. Yes, there, many apartments are free. Let us go to Lahr.
About half of the 2,000-plus apartments vacated by Canadians are occupied by the Russians. The provincial and local governments pay the bill. Officials say there's about 4,500 Russians with German heritage who moved to Lahr, but unofficially the figure is much higher. And this is putting a strain on the school system, social services, and people's patience.
We have more than 1,300 pupils in Lahr schools. And if you count just 2 parents for each child, it's already about 5,000. Then there are brothers and sisters, and then there are lots of grandparents. I think the population of those people is around 8,000.
Lahr is being hit with one crisis after another. Citizens are paying for German reunification. The town is taking in asylum seekers, and more Russian families are expected to move in. So the townspeople are pining for the good old days, when the Canadian flag was part of the fabric of this community. Neil Lundy, Global News, Lahr.